Welcome back to Tactical Air Rifleman. Today I'm going to talk about my SVD air rifle build. I bought this one from Just Air Guns in Feltham. It cost me £200. Since then it's actually gone down in price. It's £179. If you go on the website, they don't actually advertise it as an SVD. It's actually advertised bizarrely as a King's Arm Kalashnikov sniper rifle. Those of you that know, Kalashnikov had nothing to do with the making of this rifle. The only similarity is in the actual safety catch, and they wanted at the time all the Russian rifles to have the same safety catch, so if someone picked it up on the battlefield they knew how to actually fire the rifle. That's the only similarity. It's not a Kalashnikov. That's a CO2 gas operated single shot rifle that has a magazine of 18 4.5mm ball bearings. Now, obviously, the live rifle is semi-automatic, so every time you pull the trigger, it fires. This one, the construction of it isn't. You have to cock it every time. And the gas is not in the magazine, like most rifles we're used to now. It's actually inside the bolt carrier. I'll go on to that shortly. So, the actual build of it. On the top, I have a PSO-1 sight. Now this is obviously a reproduction. The original sight cost several £100. This isn't. This is the cheapest one I got, and I got this from 6mm, and it cost me £59. Now I've seen them for £200 upwards. This is the cheapest one I got. It took about a month to arrive because it came from Hong Kong, but it's a good reproduction of the actual sight. It's got graticals in it like the actual live sight, and it is red dot as well. You've got a switch on the side. I'll just move it around so you can see it a bit better. You have the switch just along here, and that switches on a red dot, which is the same as the graticals on the day sight as well. The rubber eyepiece does come off. It has section on the front, and you've got a section here that does move in and out. I'm not sure why it does that. I'm sure some of you might be able to tell me. It's side mounted, like most rifles from that period. The reason it's side mounted is to strip the rifle down. Top cover comes off to actually get at the working parts, unlike Western rifles, which have an upper and lower receiver. The upper receiver you take off to actually strip it down, and it gives a firm, actual stable position to mount a sight. You don't have the option with this rifle. Now, I'll just slide it off for you. Now, you've just got to jiggle it out a bit. In fact, can you bear with me 1 second? It's not, if you ever used side mounted sights before, they're a bit fiddly. There you go, it's off now. Now, the actual rail it comes with, I'll move that forward. At first glance, if you're not sure what you're dealing with there, it does look a bit bizarre. But most Russian rifles of the period have a similar side mount. And when you get it, you think, what's all that about? But the actual mounting section itself is just this section here, and that corresponds to the clamp on the sight, which is here. Now, when you get the sight, there's not a lot of guidance how to actually adjust the fitting. What you need to do, you put a screwdriver in, you push it up, and then you can turn the screw to raise or lower the mounting clamp. The rest of the section on the actual rail is just to make the sight parallel. As I say, this is a good reproduction of the actual original sight. You can mount any side mounted rails on this sight. Oh, sorry, on this rifle. I'll just show you. This is my AK-74 UM. That comes with a different rail fitting, slightly different, but that does go on this rifle as well. Any other AK side rails will actually fit onto this rifle. Now, the actual gas, where you fit the actual CO2 gas, I'll show you now. There's a little switch on the side here. It's actually fallen down, that you drop to lift the top cover, just like you would with any AK. However, if you look, the actual clip itself is very, very loose. And you can't tighten that. I've tried to. It's the same actually with the safety catch. Now that's very loose. If you compare that with, here's an AK 101 safety catch. Now, big click, tight as you would expect it to. This rifle, very loose. It can actually fall down without you even knowing it, to be quite honest. I've tried tightening that, you can't tighten it. So they have scrimped a little bit on the construction of this rifle. Fitting this back on is a bit fiddly as well, I'll show you in a moment. Now, the gas goes into what we would normally call the bolt. That's not the bolt, that's actually where the gas goes into. It's very easy, you just remove the spring, push it in, you pull it out, and then a bit fiddly, that comes out. And you unscrew it. This is loose, obviously. Just your normal 12 gram CO2 gas capsule. Obviously put a bit of oil on the end and then you tighten it up. Now you have to, they say use a bar or something to go through there, a small screwdriver. I just hand tighten it and it's fine. So you tighten that up, it goes back in, and then you refit the spring. Second just comes out, refit both springs into here, as you would the live rifle. Now cocks. Prior to fitting that, it wouldn't cock and it wouldn't fire either. Yeah, when I fired it, you hear that sound there. It's not exactly brilliant, is it? Obviously, if there were gas in there, you would get a louder sound, but it's not ideal. I don't know how long this gas tube will actually last as well. Over once you fire it a lot of times, but I don't know why they've done this. To be quite honest, the old proven system, like you get, I'll show you with one of my other rifles. Yeah, it's a Crossman R1 magazine. Has a short type method of 2 gas in a magazine. I don't know why they haven't gone for this, because obviously this works, and obviously you get more when a video mounted 2 gas, you get more bang for your money. However, they've opted for that option, so unfortunately we're stuck with it. Now, putting the top plate on is not brilliant. Now, bearing in mind you've got a little catch here that it is based on one of the versions of the rifle. I fired the live version in 2004 when I was in the British Army in Iraq, and that had a top swip. This doesn't, and as you can see, it is extremely fiddly. Yeah, it's not brilliant at all, to be quite honest. And I've done this quite a few times now, and as I say, it's not ideal. And even though more times you do it, it's not brilliant. Get in there. Doing this in live time so you can see what a pain in the arse this actually is. What doesn't help is the actually retaining catch keeps dropping down as well. So just when you think you've done it, you haven't. What a pain in the arse this is. It's not a good selling point, is it? Imagine trying to do this if you're out in the field. Well, obviously it's not live, but you know, if you're playing out in the field in the rain, not a good day out. There you go. Finally, compare that to an AK top cover. Comes off, button at the back, then job done. Not brilliant. Clearly a design fault. Clearly they've scrimped a bit on the money. I'll just put the sight back on. Now with these sights, they're a bit fiddly. If you've not put one on before, then they seem to be more fiddly than the side mounts for the AKs. So let me just. There you go. I didn't actually buy this rifle to shoot, I hasten to add. I bought it as a display piece. And you can see, if you want to shoot this, it's quite frustrating. Again, design faults. The actual top cover, retaining lever, not a good destruction at all. Shoddy, falls down all the time. The fire, the actual safety catch, I can actually put it down with my pencil. Again, not good. Not a good construction at all. Moving underneath, bipod. Now, they've actually, one of the good things they've done with this rifle, they've actually stayed true to the actual mount of the bipod, which is here. You cannot mount a normal conventional bipod on this rifle. The reason being, obviously, there's no Picatinny, but also the mount is actually higher up. So it won't take a conventional mount. You have to buy either an SVD copy or the actual main mount, which costs you £700. This is a copy I shopped about. You can find them on lots of airsoft sites and air rifle sites. DK Armaments do them, $59.95. I know that Killer Instinct Tactical do them for $49.99, and also Battle Axe do them for $46. I've seen them on Amazon, but they always seem to be out of stock. The same with the other companies, always out of stock. Eventually, I found this one on eBay, and it was a lot more than I wanted to pay for it. I actually paid £80, but Newpro do a good copy of this, but they won't sell you direct unless you're an actual dealer. They won't sell them direct, and they do them for £40. So you have to shop around for the bipod. You can get a barrel-mounted bipod, and you can get lots of barrel mount attachments on Amazon, on eBay, on all the sites for Picatinny, but obviously that's not in fitting with the authentic mount. If you want to go for an authentic look, you need to have this. Or there is one other that you can get as well, which is about £80. That's slightly longer underneath. So the actual mount, bipod, it's a bit of a struggle to get. But if you want to actually stay true to the rifle itself, you need to go for the bipod. And the actual bipod, this is a good copy of the actual proper one. Typically Russian, it's not actually very well constructed, and it's a bit fiddly as well. You've got a section here when you actually clamp the legs together, it clips in, but that falls off all the time, and that's actually like the live section, the live bipod. So typically Russian. Moving round to the sling. Now the rear sling attachment, just like on the live rifle, it's just a bar in the butt. The butts, by the way, and the forward furniture are plastic. They've gone with the same colour as the original wooden stock. You can get a black plastic version of these. You can also get wooden reproduction butts and foregrips, handguards for the actual rifle. I've seen a few out there online for about £100. However, I don't know if they will fit this particular reproduction, but you can get them if you want them. Now, as I say, the actual rear sling attachment is just here. It's just a bar. The front sling attachment is here, and it's just a small round circle. I haven't gone for the actual Dragunov sling, because the Dragunov sling, to be quite honest, look a bit pants. I wanted something a bit more sturdy, so I found online on eBay actually this sling, which is just a normal rifle sling. It has leather straps front and rear, just like you get on the actual Russian ones, but I think this looks better. I found this on eBay. It's Turban canvas rifle sling for $16.55. I've also fitted on the front, I'll move that forward so you can see, a better attachment than you actually get with a live sling. That's a British Army 58 webbing buckle. If any of you in the British Army recognise that, I got it off eBay, £6. I will put links onto all the bits of kit that I've fitted on here later on. Now to fire this, I'll do another video firing, but to fire it, as I say, it's single shot, and you cock it every time. It shoots all right. On the website for this, they actually said that it had a rifle barrel. Well, no. How many air rifles you know have a rifle barrel? Actually, BB guns have a rifle barrel. Bearing in mind the range of this is probably 60-70 meters tops. And how would you rifle a barrel so small as well? So that's just like the classical name of it, a total fabrication. So firing it is okay, but to say single shot, I prefer it if it was semi-automatic like the live rifle. But I say I only bought this really as a to go up with the rest of my kit, not to actually fire. So purely as a presentation piece, it looks wonderful. To fire it, I wish there were more actual air rifle versions of the SVD Dragunov out there on the market. There's lots and lots of airsoft. This is the only air rifle version out there that I found. If you find any others, please let me know. I hope this is useful. Again, I'll put all the bits of kit in the comments below, and any questions I'll be happy to answer. Thank you.